So today's video is actually a response to a comment I received on a review I did on the C-Suite C-Vox plugin that recently came out. And this commenter's name is Moke. So thank you for the question, Moke. He was basically asking if it was possible to use the C-Suite C-Vox, which is primarily designed for a vocal noise suppression. He was wondering if we could use that on electric guitar and potentially also electric bass to remove, like the 60 hertz hum, just, the noise from the amplifier, all of that stuff. And you see, I was curious about that too. I just haven't had the time to test it out. And well, here we are testing it out. So we're going to find out for ourselves if we can use the C-Suite C-Vox on electric guitar to basically eliminate our noise problems once and for all. So I've actually got it running on my voice already. So if you're wondering why the sound is so pristine and clear, well, that's why. It's right over here. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to load up an amplifier. And I'm also going to load the C-Suite C-Vox after the amplifier. So it's not going to be reducing the noise before it hits the amp. It's going to be reducing it afterwards, because what I want to do basically is avoid using the amplifier's noise gate. I want to use this noise suppressor, and that's it. That's all. And this is going to be happening live. I'm also going to show it to you guys in post-production. So I'm going to open up one of my old sessions. I actually found one that has like some really noisy guitar tracks. So we're going to see if it works in post as well. So let's get started. First thing, loading up a high gain amp. So the ENGL Savage 120. Let's see. Let's go for some really high gain stuff. So we're going to go for a new metal preset. Turn off the noise gate. There we go. Guitar I'm using, Stratocaster, Squire, classic Vibe 70s. So it's just got the plain old single coils. They're not the noise reducing ones. So it's in position number 5 now. So you're hearing the hum. Position 1. See, this is the hum canceling one because it's got the two single coils together. So you hear the hum. No hum. But this is the amp noise. So I just want to help you distinguish the amp noise from the guitar's 60 hertz hum. So you hear the hum. No hum. Hum. No hum. Okay, so we got the difference for that. But I'm going to be rolling in just like position number 5. So it's going to be with hum plus the amp noise. So this is it. I'm just going to play a little something so you guys hear the actual guitar sound. So... All right, I haven't warmed up yet today, guys. So this is just me doing a little demo. So I'm not expecting anything fantastic out of my playing right now. So let's just load in the C-Suite C-Vox and see if aha, perfect. So this is basically a perfect example of the DSP that we're using with Universal Audio. And there are limitations. So I'm using the Arrow, which has a single core DSP processor. So what did it end up? It's basically not enabling this. So what I'm going to actually have to do is disable the noise suppression on my voice, just so we have enough DSP to have this running at the same time. Normally 3 plugins works, but I guess because the C-Suite C-Vox is kind of heavy, resource intensive. So here's what my room sounds like. It sucks because I really want to show you guys what it sounds like. But anyways, what I'll do is I'll mute the vocal mic. So give me a second. I'm going to show you, I'm just going to demonstrate. I'm not going to talk. I'm going to show you what it's doing to get to the guitar. So give me a second. All right, and we're back. So sorry about the technical difficulties. This is just shows you guys that we're doing this live on the spot. I'm not really premeditating any of this. So as you heard, that was pretty impressive. Like, it's not a noise gate. It doesn't chop off, when you stop playing, and you know what I mean, like, and go back on, like turn itself off when you start playing. Like, that's what the noise gate, that comes with these amp models would do. This is a whole different type of technology. So as you can hear, it works just as good as it does on vocals, on electric guitar and electric bass and everything else. So it not only gets rid of the 60 hertz hum of your guitar, but it gets rid of the amp noise as well. So like it's actually kind of unbelievable, guys. But you see, like, so this is kind of like the resource intensive stuff that you're going to be dealing with if you're using these kinds of plugins. So as you can see, like, I recommend, like, normally, like, I won't have my microphone for voice, so I could just have the amp plus the C-Suite C-Vox, and I just record straight. We're printing the signal onto our hard drive, so it's going to have the noise reduction inside of the recording versus doing it in post. Now, if you're going to be doing it in post, what you have to keep in mind is that Universal Audio, the plugins, even if you're loading them in your DAW, like if you're loading them in Logic, they will still, like, they're required actually to do this, otherwise they won't function. Like, you have to have your Universal Audio audio interface plugged in, and it's actually going to be using the DSP still, even in post. So that's one thing that I think I didn't realize about Universal Audio at first, and I did later on. It was kind of disappointing, but I mean, so yeah, like, you absolutely have to use the DSP. They don't give you a choice. So basically, at some point, if you want to do mixing with Universal Audio plugins, it's gonna be difficult. You're gonna have to have like a more powerful audio interface with more cores, or you end up getting one of the satellite units to add on additional DSP. So that's why I don't personally mix and master with Universal Audio plugins, because of that. If you're gonna do it with in post with the C-Suite C-Vox though, because you want to clean up some of your old guitar tracks, I'll show you. Basically, what we're gonna do is we're just gonna apply it to that track, and we're gonna bounce the track in place, so we can disable the plugin and work on another track. Like, because you cannot have like multiple of these running. You're gonna just run out of DSP, so you're just gonna work one track at a time. So I'm most likely going to fast forward this part. I'm going to, take off my stuff, and we're going to open up one of my projects, and we're going to see what it sounds like in post. All right, we're back. So I loaded up one of my tracks called Making Popcorn, or Making Popcorn. And yeah, this one was one of like my late, not my first track, but I mean, like, it's like, at least a year or two old. So stuff has changed since then. And back then I was recording using the guitars and the bass using a Zoom H4n Pro, and I was using the internal amp models of the Zoom H4n Pro. And they're not horrible, but you see there are things, especially when you're not using a DI box, because I think I was actually using a DI box for this. But anyways, like, they're noisy. Like, there's just, you're gonna hear the guitar part. We're gonna solo it out. I'm just gonna go. I'm not gonna show you guys the track there. I'm just gonna show you like what it sounds like on its own. So yeah, pretty damn noisy. I'll show you what it sounds like in the mix, so you still hear the noise. Normally it's not so bad, but this one, look, listen. You hear it. You hear it just a little bit. If you're listening to it with good headphones, like these Bayer Dynamics, you're gonna hear it. You're gonna hear it. So we're gonna put it on. We're gonna put the C-Suite C-Vox. As you can see, there are lots of UAD plugins. Okay, so ambience down, attenuation 100. Let's just solo it out. and see what we can do. Now I'm going to disable it. Big difference. So to me, guys, this is still pretty damn impressive. Like, you hear a little bit of noise in post, like when we were doing it in real time, like there was absolutely no amp noise. I have to admit, this one's kind of excessive though, so maybe it's just, you know, doing the best that it could. But maybe I can't confirm this, but there seems to be a little bit of a difference between you know, in real time versus in post production. So ideally, you would do this in real time for best results. But the common thing between the both is that it preserves the guitar tone like 100%. It doesn't sound like butchered up, or there's no artifacts. It's like the vocals, like it just sounds pristine and clear. Like there's just, this is like the best noise suppression I have ever worked with. I am so happy I invested into this. Like this plugin is revolutionary. So Moke, I hope that this answers your question. You can definitely use the C-Suite C-Vox to get rid of any 60 hertz hum, any amp noise, and have pristine, clear guitar and bass tracks. So that was my little demo. And yeah, so the last thing I want to mention is, like we talked about earlier on in the video, to save on DSP and to just, you know, like if you're going to be doing this on multiple tracks inside one of your projects, you're going to do this, you're going to apply it, and you're going to just bounce. Well, you would do the entire line, you would just bounce it in place. So like that, it would create another audio track, and you could keep your original, you just mute it, and you just, well, you know, we could just do an example so you guys see what it looks like. I'm not going to save this there, so it's not the end of the world. Okay, I shouldn't have done the entire thing. But anyway, so it's basically going to create another track, okay? Like a copy of it, but using, like, with the plugins applied. Or maybe not. Maybe I didn't enable that. But anyways, so you're going to do that. And then basically that's going to just be like your new track. And you're going to mute the other one. You're going to keep it just in case something goes wrong. And yeah, that's the best way to do it in post. But the best way to do it to begin with is to do it in real time. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Leave me any questions you might have in the comments, any requests for future tutorials, and hopefully we'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.